everybody, welcome you all. In today's class, I will be discussing the topic that is role conflict and changing structure of family. So, before teaching you the topic in detail, first of all, I would like to tell you the fact that a person in a society is having two aspects. First is the positional aspect of the person. Second is the behavioral aspect of the person. The positional aspect of the person is called status and the behavioral aspect of the person is called role. Then role has also two dimensions. What are they? First is role expectation, second is role behavior. What is role expectation? The way a person is expected to perform his role. This is the expectation of other people towards the person. So, how the society expects a person to behave in a way, that is called role expectation. Second is role behavior. Role behavior means actually how does the person behave in society. So role expectation refers to the idealistic aspect. Role behavior refers to the practical aspect. So right now come to role conflict. What is role conflict? Role conflict refers to the gap between the role expectation and role achievement or role behavior. So the gap between role expectation and role behavior, that is called role conflict, or in other words I can say the inconsistency or incompatibility or disharmony between the role expectation and role behavior is called role conflict. I am citing an example. You see, being a student, you are expected to study sincerely. This is the role expectation. This is the role expectation of a student. But sometimes students don't study. They keep on watching movie. They keep on gossiping with each other. That is the role behavior. So in this way, you being a student, observe that there was a gap in your role expectation and role behavior. This inconsistency or disharmony between role expectation and role behavior is called role conflict. You see, role conflict may take place in different situations on account of different factors. For example, I can say role conflict may be associated with single role. Role conflict may be associated with more than one roles linked with single status. Role conflict may take place because of more than one roles linked with more than one statuses. I am citing all these examples of role conflict. You see, when role conflict takes place related to single role, there the role conflict is called role strain. For example, I am telling you, you see a driver is driving the lorry. So being a lorry driver, the driver was expected on the left hand side of the road. But what happened? While the driver was driving on the left hand side of the road, all of a sudden the driver noticed the fact that a small kid was also running on the left hand side of the road. Just to save the child, the driver started driving on the right side of the road. So you see, here also role conflict took place, because being a driver, he was expected to drive on the left hand side. But just to save the child, save the kid, he started driving on the right hand side. So driving is a single role, and here also disharmony took place related to single role, that is role expectation and role behavior. Here this is role conflict associated with single role. This is called role strain. Then come to second situation. You see, teacher is a status and teaching is the role. Student is a status and study is the role. Studying is the role. So you see, teacher is a status. Then teaching is a role. You see, while teacher is teaching, teacher is expected to explain the subject properly to the student. Teacher is also expected to give dictation to the student. So you see, teaching being a role, it has also other roles. What are they? First is explanation of the concept. Second is giving dictation to the student. So you see, sometimes things so happen that the teacher simply explain the thing to the student, but he does not give dictation to the student. So teaching is one role, or dictation, giving dictation is one role, explaining the student is another role. Both the roles are associated with single status, that is teacher. So here, as the teacher wanted to complete the syllabus on time, that's the reason he did not give substantial dictation to the student. He simply explained the topic to the student. So here also role conflict took place associated with two roles but linked with single status, that is teacher. Then come to the third situation. Third situation is that role conflict may take place related with more than one roles linked with more than one statuses. What are they? You see, suppose there is a person, there is a male, he is married. As he is a married person, so his status is husband. So husband is one status. Then that person is also a doctor. So position, I have already told you, position held by a person is called status. So as he is a married person, he is husband to his wife. And he is also doctor. So doctor is one status, husband is another status. So here there are two statuses. And role conflict may take place because of conflicting of interest between two statuses and two roles. How? You see, as he is a doctor, what happened? Obviously, he was conducting surgery somewhere in the OT. That's the reason he wanted to give justice to the patient. So, certain complication took place related to surgery. Whole night the doctor spent there in hospital. But being a husband, this person was expected also to come and give attention to the wife. But as he gave attention to the patient, that's the reason he could not come to the wife and could not give justice to wife. So here also role conflict took place, but here role conflict is taking place because of two roles, and these two roles are associated with not with single status but with two statuses. So this is also an example of role conflict. So in this way, I made a detailed discussion related to role conflict. In single sentence, I can say that role conflict refers to the conflicting demand associated with roles. It may be single role, it may be more than one role, it may be even more than one status. This is all about role conflict. In my next video, I will make a discussion how role conflict is affecting or influencing the very structure of family all over the world, including India. So let me wind off my class for today. Rest of the things will be discussed in my next class. Thank you.